Be right back. Go live. I'll be back before it's over.
What the fuck? Yo.
The star.
Yeah, y'all already know. Seven the pan. That dude Fizz on the beat. Yeah. We live in entertainment. Sound change. Crown the kings, homie. This is where it get ill. About to have the tip off live as a tip drill. From the court to the diamond, to the track, to the big skin, flying around the field, starting five forever, keeping it real. If it matters in the world of sports, blue jeans and long sleeves, they taking no shorts. Hot to death, oh yes, these are the sports podcasts live as a pro's course. Biz market wave, the starting five goes off. No matter who you cheer for, emotions out the window, they analyzing with clear thoughts. They take it way deeper than the boys ever. No longer got any use for the four letters. The latest news, score stats and the view from the sideline. Ain't no guideline, it's just the truth. Yeah, no need to dig for a pardon line. It's always in season if people start five. We going in on three, run the baseline, start five. We got what you need. If it's sports news you see, we don't waste time. We talking cause we live it. We got what you need. We going in on three, run the baseline, start five. We got what you need. And y'all know me, seven sign, I'm the illest cat spit. I got what you need.
Yo, we back here each and every week. As always, we got what y'all need. This is your boy, the mayor. That DJ named Ace 5, your mom's favorite fat guy. Yada, yada, yada. You know what the fuck it is. Go to that box next to the homie's head who was lighting off the first stick of the day. Hooksrub.com. Use the code STARTING5 to get 20% off your order. What up, yo? What up, TJ?
What up? Shout out to all my Boricuas today, celebrating the Puerto Rican Day Parade down in Midtown Manhattan. I have the pleasure of saying I attended many a parade back in my younger heyday when I was a wee lad. It was a lot of fun. Got into a lot of trouble. Met a lot of fine women. Those days are past me now. I'll let the young bucks take that over. Hope they're representing well. Gorgeous day out. Beautiful weekend. Got nothing much to complain about. Should be a fun day today. Talking about people on the cast. So I'm looking forward to it. What's up, O? You on time, brother? This is you know, I gotta step my game up. If you on time, I gotta start doing things better in my life. If you on time.
Yeah, I try, man. Every now and again, you know, I gotta switch it up. You know what I mean? Yo, what's good, fellas? Looking forward to a good show. Like TJ said, you know, today, the parade, Puerto Rican Day Parade. Yeah, I'm missing it today, but it's a beautiful day today, beautiful weekend. You know, look forward to getting into some things on the show. Shout out to my boy Jamal and Tyrone who ain't here. You know, but we gonna pick up the slack for y'all, man.
Facts.
Word. As my wife reminded me, like, I'm Puerto Rican this weekend, so I needed to be doing something. So I started off the weekend playing Tego Calderon, the Abayarde album, which is one of my favorites. And then yesterday, as I'm bringing my kids to the park, I start playing a little bit of that. Then I give them a little Nicky Jam from back when I first started listening to reggaeton, early 2000s.
Shout out to some Dembo in there, Dan. To Dembo.
No. We're not Dominican. We're Puerto Rican over here. But we are part kind of Dominican too, because shout out to my father-in-law, who is Dominican, my wife's stepfather, and her sister, who's half Dominican. But no, this is Puerto Rican's weekend, so it's no Dembo.
All right.
No freestyle either. No Lisa, none of that.
Nah, I didn't give him freestyle. We were straight reggaeton because then I finished off the ride home with some Don Omar, and that's it. That's it.
Nice.
But
Nice.
I mean, I tried to go away from like the obvious hits, and it was only for a few songs because the park wasn't that far away. It's not that far away anyway. But
You had to throw that Frankie Cutlass Puerto Rico one though, bro.
I didn't.
No.
Maybe I'll do that for them in the house today. Why y'all go reaching for obvious shit? Y'all reaching for the obvious. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you,
You was going for the deep cuts.
Yeah, I was heavily invested into reggaeton. I would say back when me and my wife first together, early 2000s, but also too, like I said, shouts out to my boy Alex. This is back when we used to work at Easy Pass. Like I was just I need to hear something different. Yo, what you got? Like, give me some shit that sounds like the rap that I like to listen to. First thing he handed me was Tego's album, and that was it.
It was a rap.
And then it was like, yo, give me something else. Give me something else. I'm talking Daddy Yankee pre-freaking Gasolina and all of that.
Yeah.
Like when him and Nicky Jam were cool, then had beef, and then this cat named Tempo, who was one of my favorites. I was following him all the way till he went to jail and then came home, and Winston E. Yandel. And
way down the rabbit hole, bro.
If I might still have a large stack of them CDs, obviously copies from the homie Alex, but yeah, I was
you're a true Puerto Rican, bro.
No, I'm not, but no, but it goes to my point though that I always make in a lot of shit, especially when it comes to talking about like things like wrestling and shit like that. Like, if you want to know about something, dive into the shit and learn more about it.
Facts.
Right or wrong.
Yeah, nah.
If it piques your interest, you should definitely keep going until you satisfied that craving for what you were looking for. Absolutely. That's what anything. Don't get too crazy with it. Make sure it's legal. Don't touch the kids.
Big facts on that. But I'm just saying though, but that's what it is, because it's like a lot of I'm gonna tie it back to wrestling real quick, because some of the conversations I was having on a live last night. Shouts out to y'all on that live. But like when you talk wrestling and the first company or the only thing you're talking about is WWE, and all you're talking about is WWE, to me, in my eyes, a person who, when I first started watching wrestling, it was the WWF, because that's all we were able to get up north on the East Coast.
Right.
Until the cable stations started to then give us other shit. Then we started to see that early 90s WCW with the blue, with the yellow writing on the ring.
Yeah.
Then MSG and all these other stations started to give us ECW when it transitioned from Eastern Championship to the Extreme that we know about. So I was digging, and then as I'm seeing wrestlers in the ECW, oh shit, this guy's from Japan. Oh shit, that guy's from Japan. Because of ECW, I was able to discover who my now favorite of all time wrestler in Hayabusa was, because he's made many appearances on ECW. So then I turned and started looking for Japanese stuff. And then it even goes like video games. Once you start a video game, oh, this cover looks dope. Let me try it. Oh, this album cover looks dope. Let me try it. Because you want to dig and learn more and more and more and more and more.
So let me ask you this. Is it more a WWE podcast? It should be a WWE podcast instead of just a wrestling in general podcast, do you think?
As far as what?
As far as the topic, because you're saying if all he's talking about is WWE, then it should just be a WWE podcast then, right?
No, I wasn't talking about I wasn't talking about a podcast. I was talking about specific fan bases who just talk about WWE, but then they say they love wrestling. But to me, you don't love something if you're not willing to dig further in and branch out. To a point.
There's two truths to that. It's like people who like a certain genre of music. They're not going to go out and listen to any other music besides that genre of music they're listening to. They
No.
might hear it on the radio or something.
Nah, I think say for instance, like an artist. Like I just got reintroduced, even though I listened to him as a kid. I just got reintroduced to Fela. And once I heard that first song, once I started listening to that first song, I had to go start backtracking it and go and listen to other music and obscure albums that he came out with. And I mean, I think that's a great example. Like as far as music and a particular artist that you may have discovered, you're gonna go back and listen to the whole discography.
Yeah, because you can say you love that person. You know what I'm saying? You can love that style of music or whatever. That doesn't mean you don't love the music in general, but you just love that one thing. But go ahead, Dan.
And that's the point that what you just said is the point that I'm making. It's like,
okay,
you may not love like the person that says, "Oh, I love all types of music," but don't give me that country shit. So you don't love all music. You love what you love. You
Right.
love your certain avenues of music, but you don't love the whole aspect of it. And that's more what it is. It's like you don't love the whole aspect. You don't love the whole circumference. Like I said, I love professional wrestling. There's certain times where there's certain things that I may not like within it, but like I love watching deathmatch wrestling. Now, certain things within deathmatch wrestling I don't like. Like light tubes always trigger me because I'm like, I was always taught that filament is fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like it's supposedly poisonous to your body and all that. But I watch somebody I watched somebody get power bombed in a board of scissors.
That's crazy.
It's fucking insane. But I'm just saying, like, I'm willing to and be like, you know what? I gave it a try. I might not like that style, but I'll like this bit. And point is like, if you love something, it's okay to not like certain things in between it or whatever, but keep your mind open to it all is kind of the point that I try to make.
Yes, I love music, but don't come over here with that accordion polka shit. You know what I'm saying? That's just.
But there might be some jams there might be some joints.
You're right.
Like, yo,
You're right.
What shit? Because you said accordion, and it triggered me to Doom's track accordion.
Right.
And it's a fucking accordion sample. I think they sampled the track that Deadliest made. That he took a fucking polka joint or whatever,
and that's one of my favorite songs. It's one of my favorite songs. Yeah.
But it's like, yo, I say it like it. If you're like a true hip hopper or a true crate digger, because this is really where the best example I could give is if you were like a true crate digger of music and you were like me and my people where we used to try to play Name That Sample back in my boy Flip's basement. Me and him would go toe to toe, but a lot of the times I was kicking his ass.
Shout out to Flip.
Word. But I haven't seen that man in a minute either. I don't even know if his phone is active. But point is you listen to a rap track. Yo, this beat was sampled by, damn, it sounds familiar. Let me go dig for where this sample came from.
Yeah.
This is this, and that's the part that I talk about when it comes to certain fandoms and love and saying they love shit. Like, I mean, if you just love the WWE, go back and do history on the WWE when they transitioned from the WWF, then go back to WWF and learn more about the history and what you love. Not just from this is where I started at and it's only from here and forward. Because there was something behind it.
Here's the trigger word. You said you love something. Love is crazy because if you love something, that means you really you put an emotion behind his feeling. So if you really about it, then you love it. But don't say you love it and you not about it and you did no history and you're just using it as a term. I love this.
You strongly like it. You strongly like it, and that's okay. You have a strong like. You have a strong like for all of this stuff.
Right,
but
do
you only
you love
like
it
this
though?
Yeah, but you only
Do
like
you
this
love it
avenue
though?
here. You only like
Yeah,
this avenue here, and then hate watch everything else.
right. So that's
That
why I
means
don't
you
use
don't
that
love it.
word.
You
You
can't
don't
you
love
I
it,
can't say
don't.
you can't say love and not do the history on it.
I
right?
don't. I don't use that word loved often. So that's. I get it. I get it. That's a powerful word, and
It
it's
is.
often misrepresented when it's spoken. It's a
It is
dangerous word. Use that word more properly, people. Get
way
yourself
more
together.
properly.
Come
Way
on,
more
get a better
properly.
grasp of the English language. There's other better words besides love, like
Word.
like.
Like a whole lot.
I
Word.
like you a lot. And
I
that can
like
go a
you.
long way.
It
Liking
could
you a lot
go.
can go a long way. I like you a lot.
That's it.
Not
And
enough to
there's
go to
so
jail, but
and
a
it,
lot.
yeah, there's so many transition points off of like love.
Yes.
You get stuck. You're there. You're in there. You're invested. Once you get to the love part, now you can fall out of love with something. You
Right.
can fall out of love with something, but
Right.
then once you fall out of love with it, then it's either go try to refine that love somewhere else or let it go.
You see the light bulb go off every time. You're like, oh, he loves that shit. He loves it. Then you understand. You understand completely. There's no talking him off the ledge after that. Let him go. Let him
Exactly.
go. Let him
Perfect
go. He
sign.
gotta he gotta find out himself.
Perfect signs are vinyl collections. Do you have the toy to something? Are you like
Right.
me? And do you have the Doom or like, oh, do you have the Doom mask? If you got a Doom mask, you love Doom. Like if you're willing to go that far, you know what I'm saying? Like there's levels to fandoms. There's levels to fandoms. And I say it all the time. It's okay to just love WWE. But don't tell me you love
Well,
wrestling
Dan,
as a whole.
this is another show we got to do on the word love here, bro. That sounds like
Well, we
that's a
gave you a
rabbit
prequel.
hole. That's a damn near rabbit hole, bro. We can go down some dangerous paths with that word, boy. Woo.
Word. But speaking of dangerous paths, a road less traveled by many who we talk about on this show that get entered to the Hall of Ignorance. This is the first time ever where we got to do a bit of a redaction and remove a brother from the Hall of Ignorance.
Probably the first and
Last,
last. Probably the
you
first and last.
quite possibly, very well, quite possibly. Last week we added a guy, and I said once I get his name, we're gonna shout him out. But Mr. Corey Harris, I apologize. We apologize from the Start Our Podcast for adding you to the Hall of Ignorance because part of what happened and what we talked about last week, which this thing sprouted from, and this is I think something that happened last year or earlier this year, something. But we added you to the Hall of Ignorance because you got caught driving on a suspended license in court. Like you had the access to be put in virtual court, and you were caught doing what you were in court for. Now, come to find out that part of it really isn't your fault because things that I learned was he's in the state of Michigan, and in the state of Michigan, they said for some reason legally you can't have a state ID and a driver's license at the same time. It's either one or the other.
Yes, that goes to I think all states. You can't have
Right.
both.
A lot of states have that. So point is he was trying to go get his driver's license, and there was some types of clerical errors is happening to where it wasn't his fault. To where technically, but now the trick is the thing is it's not that he was driving with a suspended license. The man never had a license, but clearly knows how to drive. But the man's never had a license. So to be honest with you, the state of Michigan's DMV should be on the Hall of Ignorance for fucking this man over. Which
So
I've learned a lot about. I've listened to a lot of shows talking about this things. Like this guy is a very solid, upstanding citizen of his community, like really good person. So this is part of the other reason why we got to take him off. And this was more the state of Michigan's fault for not helping this man set him straight. And then too, part of it, which had to do with the child support situation, which somebody, I think I forgot the woman's name who said this, which I totally agree with. I've never found this right where a state will suspend your license in a child support case, fucking up your chances to drive to go make money to get the situation straight.
I can speak on this personally because this happened to me, and I worked at a car dealership.
Right.
I was working at a car dealership at the time it happened. My caseworker told me, go find another job.
Wow.
Go find another job. A job that I was good at, making good money. She told me to go find another job. I was already 6 years deep in selling cars. Had to give test drives with no driver's license to people.
I mean, you eventually did find another job, but keep going.
Yeah. So I sold cars for 10 years. And all the 10 years I sold cars, I did not have a valid driver's license. I can say that now because I do have a valid driver's license and a passport. And I got my shit together. And I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So, yeah.
In other words, you made it happen.
Bro, you do what you got to do when you got to do it, all right? And it ain't everybody's business to know what you're doing when you got to do it when you're doing it, all right? My dealership was cool enough with me. They knew I was responsible enough to not to get into any trouble with or things of that nature. And they always supplied me with a dealer plate. You ride around with a dealer plate, you might as well just ride around with like carte blanche access because nobody really fucks with you when you have a dealer plate on your car. So my job was cool enough. They understood my situation. It was like they treated us like family there, even though they did. The car business is fucked up. We're not getting into that. But they treated me like family there. They understood my situation. And he told me, he said, yo, if you ever got caught, just say I didn't know you took the car out. And then we go from there. And that's it. Fortunately, I was cool with the cops in the town that I sold cars in. They didn't know I didn't have a driver's license, so it didn't matter. I was cool with like more than half the precinct. They was always in and out the dealership. They helped us out a few times when we had some incidents at the dealership. So we was cool. So I didn't have to worry about getting pulled over in the town I was selling cars in.
Statute of limitations has been up, people, so keep going.
But yeah, I think it's really fucked up that if I was a responsible parent, like I got my daughter every other weekend, I made sure I provided for her, paid for trips, everything she needed, she was never without. Just me and her mother had beef. And still to suspend my license when I'm like, this is what I need. I couldn't get a better job at that time. I couldn't work at a Mercedes or BMW. I was fortunate to work at Infiniti, but I couldn't work at the high retail end dealerships because I didn't have a driver's license and I had jobs lined up to make. I probably would still been in the business making the money I was going to make at these dealerships without getting into IT. Thank God I got into IT and now things are gravy, but still, the car business was very good to me. I made a lot of money, put my daughter through college for the most part, and paid for all that shit through high school. So I got no complaints about it. But the system is fucked up. And it's too many people in the system to individually break down person by person, case by case. I get that. But there's a human factor there. When the person you sit in front of you and your caseworker and they're talking to you, you just can't hold everybody to the same account of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry I got off on a rant. But yes,
no, because it ties to kind of what that man went through. You know what I'm saying? And so with all that said, yeah, we got to take, sorry, Mr. Harris, but you are off the hall of ignorance. We apologize. We still had fun with it because, nigga, that shit was funny.
In our defense, we didn't have all the facts. In our defense, we didn't have all the facts.
Word.
We were going off of what was told to us. But
I have a question, and the question, you know, I don't know if it's even hasty to take him off of the hall of ignorance because, end of the day, he knew that he did not have a driver's license.
No, end of the day, wrong. He thought he had one.
No,
And
no,
he
no, no.
thought, listen, because if you go back and look all this shit up, right? He thought he was
He
good
said that.
because he thought he had the license, and he thought he was working and paying off his situations to make sure he had a license. But whoever was doing the ID process didn't put him in under a driver's license.
Okay,
They
So
put
okay.
it
So
him
he,
as
so
an
he took,
ID, as a
so he
regular
took the,
ID.
so he took the driver's test and all that.
I think
If
he
he-
Yeah.
did he did all the steps for a
Oh, then
license,
yeah.
but they
Okay,
fucked him over
Oh,
and
let me tell you
he
something.
got an
Oh,
ID.
okay.
between child support and motor vehicles, and when I was getting my license back and everything after I got a child support, that whole shit is fucked up. The system is fucked up on a major level, and
Yeah.
the amount of money I spent and the amount of time I had to put in just to get my driver, it was the best day. It was like I got my license like I was 16 all over again. I rented a car for a month because I hadn't drove legally in over like
Word.
15 years, bro.
The day we was going
crazy.
to J1 Con, he was like, and I was like, "Yo, am I coming to meet you this year?" He's like, "Nah, I rented a car already. I got a car for a weekend. I'm chilling."
You couldn't tell me shit, bro. It was like
nothing.
word to have
Damn,
it.
so you
Front of the world
just
must
got
have
your
started
license back.
four wheeling. You know what I'm saying? What?
You just got your license back.
Yeah, B. Yeah, man. It's been a while. It's been a while. My brother has me in his phone as Chameleonaire because I've been riding dirty for that long.
You see me rolling, hating.
You're right. It's
Yeah,
a fucked up system.
I've been riding dirty for a long time, bro. And it really caught up to me because I got arrested like 3 or 4 times. I was like, I can't do this no more. So I was just like, fuck it. I can't be getting caught up because they was like, yo, we're really throwing you in jail the next time you get caught driving illegally. I was like, they don't like the food I make in there, so I'm good.
No more Jack Mac.
Yeah.
TJ in the toilet wine. That's why that's why he don't get fucking hung over, because he didn't came up off the harshest shit possible. This nigga's impenetrable.
Let me tell you
alcohol.
something, bro. I got locked up for a weekend. I didn't use the toilet one time. My body just shut down, bro.
Wow.
See, I got
one
lucky.
time. I was like,
got
I'm not doing this. Not here, not now, not ever, bro. I looked at that shit. I was like, I take my chances shitting on myself, bro. Before I go to that shit is wild in it.
I got lucky with that shit. A couple times I got fucking in the holding cell. Fucking Saturday court saved me, and I was able to get out.
I got locked up on a Friday for 4th of July weekend, and I didn't get out until Monday.
Damn, boy.
Yeah, it was one of the worst shits. That was the very first time I got locked up. And then it was several other times after that. I remember one time my ex had to bail me out. And I didn't know she bailed me out until I came around the corner. She was standing there with my boy. I was like, what'd you do? She was like, yo, we had to call your girl, bro. We couldn't let you go up to county. We had to call your girl, bro. She bailed you out. Shout out to my brother for doing that. One of my boys, he's like family to me. Shout out to my boy G. But yeah, man, I've done some crazy shit in my day, but that's for another story.
I wish I had a story to tell, man. But I've never.
Nah, that's not a story you'd want to tell. Trust me, you do not want to tell no locked up jail stories. Okay, ever.
Right?
There's nothing to write home about.
I can tell y'all some outside stories and shit.
We know. Oh, you are always outside. Hence why you're always sick on the show every weekend.
Yeah, yo.
I'm gonna go to a party and catch O in the midst of what's going on. I'm like, oh, I get it now. I get it. I see
on bottle number 3.
Listen, man. I am 49 years old, man, and I swear you, I've cheated death more than the Daredevil, man. When it comes to
bro. So the big 5-0, we got to do something. Oh, we here. I'm coming.
Word.
I'm coming.
Now, I'm gonna be in
Whatever
Africa. I'm gonna be in Africa, man. I'm gonna be in Africa for the big 5-0, man.
You already booked the trip?
Yeah, I booked the trip already. I'm flying back on my birthday. How crazy is I don't know how crazy
Nice.
that is, but yeah.
I was gonna say because first and foremost, you need to invite us first. You know, like all them barbecues that you was having while we was doing these shows. Yeah, I gotta get this chicken on the grill. Damn, that chicken does sound fucking good. Miles away, miles away.
Next one, I promise, man. Y'all gonna be the first I invite, man. And
All
all
right.
the
Alright.
listeners too, man. Y'all come through, man.
No pressure though. No pressure.
No
No
pressure.
pressure. But see, things that something that can be a little pressurous as I put it up here. Oh, you shared this in the group chat, so I was like, let's bring up some shit. Things that black people say when they don't agree with your decision, but aren't going to argue you. I know one of them is, "All right, you got it. All right, you got it. That's on you.
My
That's on
favorite
you."
is we agree to disagree.
Which I every time I hear that one, it's like, yo, shut up. Just you disagree. You don't agree. No, you
We-
disagree. That's
We
it.
agree to disagree.
No, hey man, if you like it, I love it, man.
Or hey, it is what it is. It is what it
Yeah.
is. It is what it is.
Yo, can we pretty much say that every time we say one of these things, man, it's like we're saying in our heads, yo, you dumb motherfucker, yo, you's a fucking idiot, bro. Like, how do you see that this girl is doing you dirty, man? How do you see that yo, this job is you taking shit from a job that don't pay well? Like, you know what I'm saying? These are all the things we're just like, God damn.
What did DMX say? I love my baby mama. I never let her go.
Bringing up my boy Flip again, it would be like, yo, every time we was always hanging out, we all kicking or whatever. As soon as he got a girlfriend, this nigga disappeared. And so I mean, he would slightly disappear. So it hit part of it would be like, oh, he got a girl again. All right, he'll be back soon.
Damn. Y'all
so homie,
friends,
but it'd
man.
be like,
Hoes over bros.
He'll
Hoes over bros, bro.
that's one of them. All right, he'll be back soon. There's one of them.
Y'all got zero faith in your boy, man.
That's what it was, though. It was what it was. Oh, he got this girl. Oh, all right. It's not that she's keeping him away. He's choosing to stay away because he's focused. He's focused, but he'll be back soon.
Shout out to Flip for being whipped.
At the time. But what else? What's some other? I mean, I'm sure for the church folks, oh, bless his heart or bless her heart is another one of them classics.
Yes.
You're a better man than me.
Word.
That one is tough, boy.
That's a tough one, boy.
That one is tough, man. What am I supposed to say after that? Because I know I'm not a better
walk
man.
Away. Walk
know.
away. Walk away. You walk away. All right.
That's when when you get that though internally, you got to give him that. I'll show you.
Or whatever makes you happy, man. Whatever makes you happy.
Another one. And that's when you walk away and hit him with this nigga here. There's one. This nigga here.
That's where you go to your boy. He's got to see it for himself. He's got to see it for himself.
Word.
There's no talking him down now. He can't see it. He'll see it one day, hopefully. But we got to let him go for now.
I tried to tell him.
Yeah.
I tried to tell him. I see you when you get back, though. I tried to tell him.
Yeah, man. One that my boy used to say, man. He would say something like, "Yo, you know what?" He would say what he had to say and then give his disclaimer. But you know what, man? Don't listen to what I'm telling you. After you said all that shit, you ain't got to listen.
No, that was the disclaimer to get him off the hook because you knew that shit was bad advice from the jump.
Right, exactly. If I fucking listen to you, if I shit fucked up now and I go back and be like, yo, damn, dude, hey man, you shouldn't listen to me, man. I'm just talking my shit.
I told you don't listen to me. You know, that's what I said before I left.
Especially when you've been through it similarly.
Yeah,
It's
and they saw you go through it. They saw you go through it, and they saw you go. What's the other one? God's got him. God's got him.
word.
Man.
Bro, you my man's and all, but but you know, I tried to tell you. I tried to tell you, but
Tried
you know.
to tell you.
Mm-mm-mm.
Or here's the one. He's just like his father.
Oh, damn.
My wife hits me with that one often. I'm sure she's they're in chat. My wife and my mother and my sister, they're in DC now. I'm sure they've talked up so much that like he's gonna come back later to me and tell me you are just like your daddy. He hit me with that last week. Like you are just like your daddy.
And what are you supposed to say behind that? Like, no, I'm not. Like, what are you supposed to say?
You know what I say is, well, I talk more coherently and I'm funny.
All you can say behind that is I got it honestly. That's it. That's it. This is what I grew up with. What I didn't choose this. It chose me.
You got it. Shit. Word, man.
That is wild.
But yo, so basically what we're trying to say is, man, we we are awesome. We are black people are awesome, funny style dudes, boy. Funny style people. Cause we will watch y'all fuck up and be like, told us I knew this shit was gonna
exactly. I knew it.
Wait a minute. You be standing on the side, but look at him, watch him.
Word. Oh, and that's one of the best. Yo, watch this. Yo, look at this shit. Look at it. There it is.
I told him don't do it. I told him don't do it. He didn't want to listen though. That's my father's favorite saying: "A hard head makes a soft behind." Bro.
Make a soft ass.
That's a throwback. Throwback. That's classic material. That's classic material. But shit. All of this shit is. This is just all walks of life, people shit. But yeah, we do this shit more often than others, for real. For real. So many times. I and me too, because people come to me for advice. Well, used to come to me for advice on shit. I'm gonna give you all the options, but I'm not you. I can't tell you this. I can't tell you what to do. But you asked me, but I can't tell you what to do.
Right.
And then as soon as they do it and fail, I told you.
TJ, what I say? What I say, bro? Nigga got to give the disclaimer at the end, like, hey, but don't listen to me though.
Don't listen to me. What's wild is we've all been there because we all been hard headed like that once or many times in our life. But that's how you learn, right? You learn from your failures. You learn from your mistakes. Makes you a better person. You can't go through this life living perfectly. It don't happen. You know what I'm saying? Everybody.
I tell my kids, sometimes you got to learn the hard way, and that's what it is.
The hard way is the way to learn. That's it.
That's the only way to learn.
Not all the time, but yes. You can't see somebody fail all the way through. You still got to try to give the assist and give a little bit of a leg up.
Right.
But go experience that shit for yourself. Come back with your report. Come back with your findings once you fail.
it's like the saying it's very hard to fail up, right? It's very hard to fuck up and then be moved up off of your failure, right? It doesn't happen often. But it does happen.
Unless, because you gave me the perfect transition, unless it's the sport of baseball. We're in the sport of baseball, as we all know. It's a game of failure. But do you fail less than your opponents?
Right.
And right now, there was some history made that you're about to tell us.
Yes. The National Baseball Hall of Fame has finally accepted the Negro League stats What do you know who's at the top of the list of these stats? A black man. After all it's said and done, they've incorporated the Negro League stats into the Hall of Fame stats. And it is, I don't want to say littered because that's the wrong word to use. There's a proliferation.
You want
That's
to
the
say
better
nigger.
word.
It has been niggered.
It's a proliferation of black excellence throughout that list of the players and what they did on that level. Had they even played in integrated ball, the stats wouldn't have changed. These dudes were giants among giants, monsters among monsters. Like, they did their damn thing. And white people at the time didn't want to get shown up like that. Not in a house, not in a front yard, not in their backyard. Nowhere did they want to get upstage like that. And the numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie. They're all there to display. And what's even crazy, when they did integrate the league, we still were coming out being dominant at that sport. But it was a long time coming. I'm glad to see it happen within my lifetime, that they incorporate the Negro League stats, and it's a beautiful thing. Shout out for baseball for correcting this, or MLB for correcting this, even though it took damn near 100 years, but at least we got it now.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I wish Jamal was there, man, so I could hear his point. But yeah, man, guys like Josh Gibson, guys like Satchel Paige, him having his whole, as far as stat line included in the Hall of Fame. I mean, listen, we were not allowed to play in the MLB, like we all know. And be honest with you, it would have been a better sport. You know what I'm saying? It would have been more watchable. Because we were better, at the game. So I'm glad that I'm still looking at these stats and these revised stats. So yeah,
They're
man,
bananas.
I'm happy for it.
They're bananas. The stats are bananas, bro. The stats are bananas. And you talking about guys who went out there every day. There was no rest time. There was no breakdown. They would travel on the worst pieces of transportation you could travel, staying in the worst places they could stay. And they still came out and still did their damn thing. They came out and grinded. They did it because they loved the sport. They were good at it. And they just wanted to show their talents to the world.
You had guys pitching. You got guys pitching every other day.
Every other day.
Crazy.
9 innings. Not 6. Not 5.
Yeah. Complete
9
games.
Throwing hundreds of pitches.
And sometimes into extras.
Yeah.
And sometimes into extras. Talk about competitive spirit. Nah, coach, don't take me out. I still got it. I'm still good.
You're not getting pulled after 65, 70 pitches. You're not getting pulled after 85. You're getting pulled after 115, 130, 140. Because you know why? You got to pitch on Wednesday. It's Monday. We need your arm for Wednesday.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't do 200 today. Man. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, all of this shit is crazy. Like, yeah, just the brief stats that I pulled up is Josh Gibson is now the all-time single-season record holder in batting average at 466, eclipsing Hugh Duffy, slugging percentage of .974, eclipsing Barry Bonds, and the OPS of 1.474, eclipsing Bonds, highest career batting average of 372, eclipsing Ty Cobb, a slugging of 718, eclipsing Babe Ruth, and an OPS eclipsing Babe Ruth all time. So
you know what that means? He got up 4 times and he got on base 3 out of the 4 times.
Pretty damn much.
That's crazy.
Ichiro in his heyday wasn't doing that.
You know how hard to do that is on any level? And Tony Gwynn is one of the greatest hitters of all time. Black man, Tony Gwynn. Our generations will never see another guy like that. We'll never see another guy like that. Mm-hmm. The best of the best couldn't. Tony Gwynn strikeouts. You couldn't. It would take the guys now are striking out in 4 months what Tony Gwynn would strike out for a year.
Yo,
a year.
They said that Glavin, what was it? Glavin, Maddox,
Pedro,
Smoltz, Pedro,
and yeah,
like struck this dude out like 5 times or something like that.
4 times combined.
That's crazy.
4 times combined. If you pull up,
He'll only be strucken out 434 times in your
his
entire career.
His lifetime in the league.
Motherfuckers strike out 100 times in a season.
Yes.
Word.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Mike Smith was, he would strike out over 100, over 120, 130 times.
434 strikeouts for his career.
Crazy.
That's less than like I don't forgot how many years. It's like 40 times a year.
I always say, man, it's documented on the show.
It's
documented on the show that I've said that baseball is the most toughest sport. You know, for you to have an eye, to strike out 400 times in a season. And how many seasons did he play?
20, motherfucker. 20
seasons.
20.
Okay.
So if you struck out Tony Gwynn, keep the fucking ball. But no. Throw that shit back. I want that. I want him to sign it because I struck you out today. Today's the day. Because you're never going to get that. You are never, and I mean never, going to see that again.
434 divided by 20. That means he only struck out 21,
22.
Close to 22 times a season. How?
That's crazy. That means that ball to bat.
They play 182 games.
62, depending on playoffs.
My bad. 162. 21 times out of 162 games.
And you think about it.
He was either getting a walk or a hit.
And you think about it now, the Padres, that was a shit team when he played on.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they
went to the World Series one time, like 83, 84, something like that.
No, that
was a shit team.
Yeah, and they got smoked.
So you think about it right now, right? He had no protection in that lineup. It's not like Aaron Judge and you got Stanton and Soto.
Yeah.
Nah.
By himself.
No protection.
By himself. You was like, you know what? I'll just walk Tony Gwynn. I know I can get the next guy out because he ain't shit compared to Tony Gwynn.
Yeah. So he either walked, ground out, popped out, but struck out only 20 to 22 times a year is insane.
Yeah, it was ball to bat, man. Every time he got up there, that's crazy. Hall of Famer.
But he wasn't in the Negro League. But he wasn't in the Negro League. He was just a Negro. But just to bring him up is to just describe how badass we are as black folks in the game of baseball. I mean, in all sports in general, but in the game of baseball, which was perceived no longer America's pastime because that's been eclipsed by football easily. But
yes,
damn it, now you have to add all of these Negro League stats in, which they did. And again, Josh Gibson can now technically be called the greatest ever. Because you also got to think about it too. You in each whatever you played against the best of your era.
Yes.
Hands down. Yes. And I'm sure that you could have taken majority of them Negro League teams, especially some of the best, and they would be multiple time World Series champions.
Absolutely. If you took the best player off in each Negro team and fielded a team and put it against a team back then, I'm sure they would have washed. A
lot of them. Dynasties. We're talking about dynasties. But congratulations to Major League Baseball. You know, with a little bit of progress. A little bit of progress. It's slow. A little bit of progress, but you know what? Maybe they had to do that because the game is so Latino dominated now. It's like hold up. Hold up.
True.
Most of us MAGAs hate Mexicans, so we got to fix this. Hey, my African Americans, come on over finally. We fully accept you now. Like we
You know,
accepted you in the game, but now we fully accept you.
but having said that, I would have loved to be a fly on the wall on Mr. Americana USA in Georgia when that uh uh when that information dropped that we're gonna include the Negro League stats. I know somebody down there in Georgia, Louisiana, Alabama,
Oh,
wherever,
all of
they
them,
were losing
all
their
of them,
shit, boy.
all of them, all of them.
They had lost their shit.
This is not how we make America great again.
We're going in the right. You see why we need Trump? We're going in the wrong direction.
Word, word, word. But speaking of Trump and going in the wrong direction, TJ, you got more.
Ooh. Yo, this
Oh
brother
man,
needs to
I need
be
to go on
inducted.
Iceland.
He needs to be probably inducted in to the halls of niggerance
Well,
for
let's
his
go.
bullshit.
Let's
All
go.
right, your man's not anybody's man's, because this guy is just, he's grade A asshole. Byron Donalds.
Of course, he had to have the name Byron.
Let me pull it up exactly what he said. Give me 1 second here. Here we go. He said during Jim Crow, more black people were not just conservative black people, always have been conservative minded, but more black people voted conservatively. He also said black women are looking at their sons now. He said black women are maybe turned off by Democrats on their positions of transgender policies, and said black women are looking at their sons and saying, now, wait a minute. You're telling me my son can be a girl? Nope. Are you fucking kidding me? This dude said black families were better during the Jim Crow era. Let me tell you something. This man's wife is the whitest of all white people you've ever met. During the Jim Crow era, if he was caught with his family right now, as it stands, with his white wife, he wouldn't have been allowed to say no shit like that. First of all, he wouldn't have been able to allow to even speak during the Jim Crow era. But you're talking about the Jim Crow era with segregation, the right to vote, equal housing, equal employment, equal anything. And that was a better time for black families because they were together? Are you fucking kidding me? This dude needs to get all the way out of here, Dan. All the way out.
Well, welcome to the Hall of Ignorance, Byron. Fucking Byron. Well, like TJ just said, and excuse the weed whacker in the background, he decided to make a guest appearance on the show. But yeah, just like TJ said, brother, you wouldn't be able to be in the situation you're in now if it wasn't for like the eradication of Jim Crow laws and shit like that. You would, I mean, I can see it now. He'd be tap dancing and Yazzabossing like crazy. But the only part that was semi-factual was, yes, black folks back in the day were way more conservative. They were, but not like what conservatism means nowadays. You got that all fucked up, buddy.
Listen, we probably were more conservative, and we were probably more of a unit back then. But we had to be. We didn't have anything else.
The one name that they love to quote, Martin Luther King, was one of the top conservatives, but
Yes.
was liberal in his point, and was Republican, but it wasn't the Republican shit that we know now. It was different back then.
Also, he spoke to this in front of a bunch of white folks who were in a gentrifying neighborhood. So, in everybody's favorite state, Florida, of course, because he's a representative of Florida, This is why I'll never move. Nice place to visit, but wouldn't want to live there. Florida. I feel for all my Florida fam. We got a lot of fam down in Florida. HHDG, just friends in general. I don't know how y'all do it. The weather's nice, but it ain't nice enough for me to move down there and deal with that bullshit. I'm sorry. I'll stay up here with my New York winters to avoid that bullshit, because that they're going above and beyond bullshit in that state. We do a whole series on the state of Florida if we wanted to, because
I told my daughter to be careful in considering where she wants to go to school, because she mentioned the University of Florida. But I said to her, I was like, really consider that with this guy as the governor of that state.
Right.
And you're a young woman.
And he's not looking out for you. He's not looking out for you. He's not looking out for anybody of color.
And I looked,
young black woman, I was gonna say.
And I'm not gonna lie, I looked at that as like retirement destination, because many of people from my job and just the state of New York go down there because it is cheaper and shit like that. And then again, I mean, just like anywhere else, to keep it real with you, if you don't play into those types of games, it doesn't. Sometimes they don't affect you, but also if you don't pay attention, some of that shit can affect you. So why put yourself in those situations?
Right. I was about to say, you might be insulated from some of it, but when the governor is involved and it's on a statewide level, it's going to affect you in some way, shape, or form.
And that goes to Texas too, though.
I mean, I don't know why you want to move to Texas at all.
Yeah, Texas is another one that's off the list. Texas should just become its own fucking country now. Like I'm really at that. You want to secede? Let them secede.
They would shut down in over a month. They 100%. Would shut down.
Yeah,
they would shut down, because where's the money coming from? Oh, we got the fourth or third largest port in the country. This, that, and the third. Blah 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 blah. Okay, all right. So we stop going there. Now what? Now we just go around. We go to Cali. We go to the neighboring states. We go up the East Coast. The whole East Coast is flooded with fucking ports.
And then look at it like this too, DJ, right? Texas was once a part of Mexico, right?
Right.
Most of the southern part of it.
Mexico want their shit back.
So yeah. Come back home, my pretty. We want to. Oh, you your own country? Yo, y'all good? Y'all guns, right? Y'all love all that guns. You got enough? You sure? When one cartel could probably take the whole state out, because they want their land back now, because your own place.
They don't realize that the National Guard has to pull out of that, because it's a country now. It's not part of the sovereign United States. So there's no National Guard. There's no air support. All the government's resources are pulled out unless they come with an agreement to keep a base in that country. Then okay, we might have something to do with that. But and once all the resources,
racism.
Once the resources leave the state on a state and a federal level, and now you got to provide for your own people with the own money that you generate. Good luck with that, my guy. We see how you run the state. It's kind of fucked up. NBA, there ain't gonna be no Dallas Mavericks. There ain't gonna be no Dallas Cowboys. There ain't gonna be no Dallas Stars, San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah.
Oh no, they can remain. They can remain because there's Canadian teams. So now it becomes a world game.
Right, right. But the owners have to want to stay in the state, Dan.
I was gonna say,
the owners want to have to stay there.
It's gonna be a failed state. I mean,
North Dakota and South Dakota got new teams, bro. They got a whole new fan base. Montana and Wyoming got a new fan base, bro.
Hawaii's gonna have a pro team. The Alaskan Spurs. The Alaskan Spurs.
The Hawaiian Mavericks now introducing, bro. Are you kidding me?
All pro teams are gonna pull out. I'm gonna pull out the state of Texas.
No Texas Rangers. No,
they all
that shit is done.
The Hawaiian, the Honolulu Texans. Not even.
They don't realize
the Honolulu coconuts now.
Pineapples. Oh damn.
It's so ignorant that the people that say that shit fail to realize what comes with it when you say dumb shit like that.
They don't
And,
think far past their nose, man. They don't,
and
man, because like you said, National Guard is gonna have to pull out. So you're gonna
right,
be on your own.
right.
And that means that Mexico is gonna be over there licking their chops. They're gonna set up shop,
I've
and y'all
been to
gonna be a failed
Texas.
state.
It's a
It's gonna be
lot of
another
wide
Italy.
open. It's a lot of wide open spaces unprotected out there, dogs.
And then guess what? Then we can scream, close our borders to Texas. Oh, how does it feel now, motherfucker?
Word.
How does it feel
Word.
now? Go put up this bigger fence you want. Chain link, hell in the cell, big blue cage. It don't matter. Put up the fence you want now. Close our borders to Texas.
Word.
We don't
To
want that
Texas.
You see
ignorance
how big
on this
Texas
side.
is? That's a lot of fence, bro. That's a lot of fence. That's a lot of fence.
That's what they want in Mexico, and I mean that's what they want from Texas. And this is
Texas
what
is touching like
Byron
6 states or some shit.
understand. This is the type of shit that we got to think about when you think dumb shit like you're saying, Byron.
It's a lot. It's money, man. All that shit, all these decisions is money driven.
The best shit ever is when Bugs Bunny cut off Florida from the map. He took a saw and he just cut that shit. He cut the whole state of Florida off the map of the United States and said, "Let that shit be its own island to itself."
Word.
all
Florida,
that shit,
Texas.
you
Bye
think
bye.
about
Y'all
all that shit
go
is
do
political, man. You think the government didn't watch that cartoon before they put it out? They knew that shit was coming out.
I just don't understand. Like, there's no welfare. There's nothing. You get nothing. You get nothing. Once you cut yourself off from a major country, you better have all your shit in order, all your ducks in a line, your banks, your reserves, oil, food, everything has got to be lined up because now everything is going to be imported.
What's their
Whatever
passport
you-
situation going to look like?
Yeah.
You
But, you know-
convicted felon in the country of Texas. You can't come to the United States, bro.
Yeah.
You can't travel.
That
I'm
is
sorry,
crazy.
my guy. You stuck there.
I mean, okay, so this is also, food for thought. Maybe they're talking all this shit, right? Because they know that it would never happen. And I mean, I don't know what they benefit from talking this bullshit, but it'll never happen. Not in our lifetime.
No, it won't happen. But this is just again to throw it back in Byron's face when you're talking about all this and that was better in these times. Like, are you sure about that? Are you sure about that?
Better
Like,
for who?
Listen, nothing was better before the civil rights era. Nothing was better before the civil rights era. It's called the civil rights era for a reason. It was an era because there was shit fucked up before this time. There was, what are we talking about? There was nothing good happening before the civil rights era.
I mean,
nothing.
Are we talking about like before the hoses and the dogs, like and
bro? There was
random hangings.
It goes back to when it was like black people shouldn't walk around with hoodies on and other. I was like, they was getting beaten with suits and hats and ties on for years. In the 50s, 60s, 30s, 20s. You can go back. You could be a well-dressed black man and still get the brakes beat off of you. TJ, what does that got to do with anything?
TJ, how dare you? You're supposed to forget that. They stopped teaching that in the school for a reason. You're supposed to forget that. You're not supposed to remember that.
How dare I? How dare
you?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how you look, how you dressed. It doesn't matter. You are an eyesore. You are a physical eyesore to the community.
That is a hell of a point. That is a hell of a point you made, man. And if you allow yourself to be asleep long enough, man, you'll forget that shit. I think about the Zimmerman shit and man, damn, forgive me, I forgot the young boy's name, man, that he killed in cold
Trey,
blood.
fucking damn.
Trayvon Martin.
It's Trayvon Martin. It's a
Trey
shame.
Martin. Yeah.
It's a shame that I remember the killer and not the victim, man. But yeah, you know, he's walking around in a hoodie, minding his business, man, eating a bag of Skittles. You know what I'm saying? And in a beautiful state of Florida that we all want to run down to. You know what I'm saying? Like he was in a hoodie, a young boy. You know, he wasn't in the suit and tie. Maybe if he was in the suit and tie, would things have been different? No. You just pointed it out.
No.
You know,
It wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered. Nothing matters. How we look, how we dress, we can act a certain way, we can carry ourselves a certain way. We all seen that shit thrown back in our face. I've experienced it personally. I'm sure you've experienced it personally. I know Dan's probably experienced it personally. We've all been there. It does not matter.
I've told y'all my skinhead story on here. But guess what? In a progressive North, with my best friend Danny O'Sullivan was standing right next to me, and them cats, all they did was just talk around us. We wasn't looking for no problems anyway. We were just waiting for the comic book store to open. But guess what? In a progressive North, a white man was standing next to a black man, ready to go down unless if something was happening. Shit like that wouldn't happen, Byron. You wouldn't be able to be with your wife, Byron, if we had it when it was better, when you thought it was better. Fuck out of here.
Facts.
He's definitely in the Hall of Fame, Dan. He's definitely in the Hall of Fame. That's just some dumb shit, man. It's just, I understand you trying to appease a certain crowd to get a vote, but like, how do you look at yourself in the mirror in the morning?
That part.
You didn't grow up like that. I damn sure know you didn't grow up like that. Your parents didn't instill none of that bullshit in you when you were growing up.
And we don't say that in the manner of you can't be with who you can't be with who you want to be with. Is nah. You know what I'm saying? Love who you love. It's all, but it's just the ignorance.
Just to say the Jim Crow era was better for black families. In what sense? In what sense was that era better for anybody of a person of color? It doesn't matter. Yeah.
That's how you get spat on, man.
Yeah, yes, we are talking about the Jim Crow jackass. It said Byron gets the Frank stand expeditiously. He said 21 glizzy salute for the reckless slick of Byron.
Word up. That shit is just, you know, what always amazes me that it comes from us when I see this shit happen, because of all the people that have been afflicted by the turmoil in this country, why would we even, where are these people that think that this would be okay to, I don't care if we don't get along as people, friends, whatever, but to come together, we got to come together for something. This is some shit that should be universally agreed upon by everybody.
Right.
Like no way in hell, bro.
Instead, TJ, we come together to talk shit about them. Why? Because negativity sells. Because negativity works. They don't pay attention to it when it's positive. When it's positive, it's whatever. Negativity sells.
I just don't understand how we have people out there of our own ilk saying shit like this. It just troubles me, because I guess, Dan, it goes back to what we discussed in the beginning. If you understood the history and you loved it, or you knew where our culture was from and you loved our culture, you loved our people, you understood what we went through to get where we're at now, what would fix your mouth to say some shit like that? Do you really love us? Do you really love us?
Your boy,
when
your
you
boy
say some
Tim,
shit.
your boy Tim Scott in South Carolina. He's been saying this shit for years, man. He's been saying
I,
the same. He's on that same rhetoric. You
yes,
know.
man. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, how? How? What
Yeah.
light was shined upon you that made you think it was going to be better? He'll never get past. Tim Scott will never get any higher in the world of politics than where he's at right now.
Right.
Never,
unless
ever.
unless the orange man the orange man who again, because of this situation, I have a feeling he's going to win unless he makes him his running mate.
That's it. That's it. But
Yeah.
that's a crapshoot, Dan. That's not guaranteed. That's not even 50-50. It's more like 80-20 for him to
Yeah.
get that slot. So if you know that you can't ascend any higher, why are you still fighting this fight for these people? And I'm not saying you don't have to not be Republican. You could be a Republican. You know what I'm saying? Represent the party you want to represent, but don't come here with the bullshit and try to tell us some new story, try to put a spin on some old ass story that we both know is a fucking lie, and we read about it, we seen it. There's tons of black and white video footage all over the world, all across the internet, to inform you about this shit. How could you still be like that? How could
Now,
you still be like that?
Curtis said he hears the rhetoric that is being spewed by Jesse Lee Patterson and the likes. Now, Jesse Lee Patterson, that's the dude that with the raccoon eyes, right? That got caught going into going on a date with a man or something like that. Isn't that him?
Yeah.
Isn't that him?
I'll look him up. Jesus Christ.
Well, yeah. To piggyback over what you said, man. Yo, every time I see Tim Scott, man, it's like that line from Life, man. Tell him about the gun line, boss. That's every time I see him, that's what I think about, man. That he's that type of dude.
Jesse Lee Patterson is that old black coon sheriff that was back in the day, Dan. And he was talking
the light skinned
crazy.
dude.
No. That was the other. That was the sheriff. I forgot that sheriff's name. He's been added to the Kuntain clan. This is Jesse Lee Patterson. This fucking guy.
Yeah, that guy. He's an asshole. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. He said
You
some
want to talk
wild
about
shit.
king of self-hate? Said the gun line, boss.
That dude is the real Uncle Ruckus. He's the real life Uncle Ruckus. Like he wishes mom was white type shit.
Wow.
These are the
He was-
people. These are the people of why the Kuntain clan and the whole of NIGNORANCE was created. With people like him, people like Trump. The first inductions was David Duke, because Trump didn't know who David Duke was all of a sudden back when he first started to run. This is why we created this, exactly, big air quotes. This is why we created this fucking list, because the ignorance. So we subtracted one out of human error, but we replaced it with a nigga named Byron. Byron. The only Byron we accept is Allen.
Is it ignorance or is it cognitive dissonance where they know it's wrong, they know what they're saying is crazy, but they're refusing to accept it?
How about we give it a new spin? Cognitive ignorance. Because they know that it's fucking ignorant, but they're gonna say it anyway. Why?
That's
because
wild.
they can pull at the purse strings of the people who can make things happen. I didn't say heartstrings, the purse strings.
Like
AKA,
I said,
they can do the
money.
Candace Owens level of grifting and taking money from these stupid ass people. If you coming up, I ain't gonna hate if you coming up on stupidity, but your stupidity can also hurt others. Pay attention, people. Like, what the fuck? You ain't got to be Dr. Umar levels of woke to understand this shit.
Yeah,
you ain't got to be 125th Street Road Warriors. Read to pay attention to this shit. You know what I'm saying?
What's the saying? The saying is if you could convince a white man with a penny. He's better than a nigga with a nickel. You got them.
And fortunately for them, they're convincing niggas with $1.
It's crazy, man.
You know,
I just Go ahead.
you brought up a name. You brought up a name, and I'm like, yo, it's true because this chick, yo, out the blue, you go on the Breakfast Club, you doing this, you doing. Oh, okay, she's one of us now. Nigga,
No,
what?
no,
Not at
no,
all.
What?
never,
Like,
never.
shout out to
Oh,
Curtis. He said Clarence Thomas is the final boss of cognitive ignorance.
big
Take a glizzy
facts.
trip, Your Honor. 100%.
Big,
Big
big,
facts. Big
big.
facts.
It's killing me. All these dudes with white wives, bro. It's killing me that they say shit like this, bro.
It's
What is the
only
wife? What is the wife
it's
saying to them
only
in private?
it's only the ignorance ones like this, because I have many people in my family who are half black, half white. We're not like that. It's only these ignorant, dumb Negroes.
Empower.
Yes. And again, this has no bearings on love who you love. Like we said, this is Puerto Rico weekend. Let me show y'all again. The only flag I have on me is in my daughter's name, just to represent that she is part Puerto Rican.
I need to go out and get me some mofongo. By the way, I need to go ahead and do that, man. I love me some mofongo. I need that
I
shit in my life
fucking
right
hate
now.
plantains though, or
Oh
plantains.
man, yo, I'm with
Oh,
you, Dan.
did
But
you
get you
what
some,
did you say?
get you some
Did you
flan.
just say
Plantain or plantain, platano,
Is it a
whatever. I hate that
mountain?
shit.
Is it a
So
mountain or a mountain?
right,
exactly?
it's a
Exactly.
fucking banana, and I don't like it. It's a
I'm
banana,
with
and I don't
I'm
like it.
100% with you, Dan. I'm not a plantain guy at all. I don't get it. I
Oh
don't like the
man.
taste. I don't like the texture. It just don't agree with me. I don't have to love everything. I love most.
Exactly.
I love pernil. I love the rice, the peas. I love mofongo. I love flan. I love arroz con pollo. I
So
love
wait, you love
chuletas.
wait.
You know what I'm saying?
You love mofongo, but you don't like plantain.
Yes. Yes.
How is that possible?
I don't know.
Mofongo is actually, I get it, TJ, because I fucking hate mayonnaise. But
I don't like mayonnaise either.
But tuna gotta be made in mayonnaise. I'm not old Negro that eats tuna in mustard.
So
Wait, people eat tuna and mustard? My God.
Yes, people eat tuna and mustard. What up, Juno?
I don't like bread.
It's been a long. Hold up, bro. Juno, we got to get you up here one time, man. It's been mad long. We gotta get you up here, Juno. We gotta get you up. We gotta get our Haitian brothers in Florida. We was talking shit about your state too. Fuck out of here. It's y'all island niggas.
I'm not a bread eater, right? I don't like toast. I don't like bagels. I don't like pancakes. I don't like muffins. I don't like none of that shit, right? But you know what? I like a fucking sandwich. And what's on a sandwich? Bread. All right.
What starts a sandwich? Bread.
Bread. I like hot dogs. What you got to put a hot dog on? A bun, right? So it's not like I just don't like it by itself. I don't like plantains by itself. You know what I'm saying? I like ceviche. I like fucking all the other shit. Mofongo be slapping. Stop it, damn.
He says stop.
Yes, they are.
Take your Cape Verde ass and eat all the banana you want. Pause.
Listen.
Waffles over pancakes, though. Yes, I agree, Brian. Waffles over pancakes all day.
I don't like either of them shits. Okay,
TJ, you like my daughter. My daughter don't like cakes or cookies. She don't eat cakes. She don't eat cookies. She don't eat cakes. She don't eat cookies.
You will catch me with a dark chocolate chip cookie in my hand every day if I could have it. But it's like people out there who don't like watermelon or who don't like mango or who don't like.
I don't like mango. But shouts out to Coach Casey. He's been on the Instagram. He hates watermelon.
Why? It's delicious.
No, you don't like watermelon.
My wife don't like watermelon either. I fucks with watermelon.
See?
That's AKA.
But see, and then
as some people used to call it the nigga apple. I heard that shit, I was up.
But yes, so I don't like plantains.
Yes.
So that's where it
We're
happened.
gonna have this. Yeah, we're gonna bring. I want all of y'all on one of this show. Maybe our Father's Day episode. We just gonna argue about shit like this. Because I made grits this morning. Salt, pepper, and butter on grits. Never sugar.
No,
Take
don't
the
put sugar.
time out for that nut shit. You sugar. This nigga, we ain't eating hot cereal. Don't put sugar on grits. I don't give a fuck if you from the South. You from? I don't care where you're from. Sugar and grits. No.
It's the same people that put. This the same people that put sugar on spaghetti, Dan. I don't get it.
Oh man.
Why are you doing that?
I haven't done it. I haven't done it.
Yes.
I haven't done it. But what I learned now, see, it's not that you put in a whole bunch. But what I learned about putting sugar in the pasta sauce is it cuts down on its acidity to where you don't. So if you got acid reflux, it kind of helps with that. Because pasta
I don't
sauce
have that shit.
you fucking.
I don't want no sugar in my pasta. All right, that's where it stops.
I will flip the table, boy.
No Diddy, I haven't had a banana since I was 13. But you eat plantain.
That sounds like
a you banana.
Problem. That sounds like a you problem, my guy.
he said I put sugar on spaghetti sauce.
No.
I'm bigger as my trade.
Well, who are these people? I don't know. I'm gonna have to start looking at my friends list a little bit more discreetly.
The second time I'm using it this week, but you got to hit him with the fucking what's his name? Why am I drawing a blank on homie's name? But you got to hit him with the who raised you.
Word.
It goes back to what things black people say where they don't want to get into an argument. It is what it is. It is what it is.
If you like it, I love it, boy.
That's on you. Sugar in your spaghetti, that's on you, kid.
That's on you.
I don't know about that's
Don't invite me over when you having pasta. Do not invite me over when you having pasta.
Word.
Yes, thank you. TK Kirkland. TK Kirkland said that. Who raised you?
Jesus. That's too much. So you guys be habitual line steppers. Habitual line steppers. That's what we got.
Word.
That's what we got.
Word. But to wrap this up, Boston's kicking Dallas's ass. They whooped their ass so far. Tonight's game 2. I think it's gonna be more the same. Maybe 5. Maybe 5. If Boston continues to play the way they did and they let Kristaps show out, and I said it last week. I said Boston in 6, even though it's fuck Boston all day. But Boston in 6 because, to be honest with you, from what I saw, I didn't really get to watch the game, but of course I saw the highlights after. Right? Wow, he said 1 inch of sugar for Kool-Aid optimal flavor.
A whole inch? Damn.
That's crazy. Pause. But I said last week, if Kristaps is back, this is gonna be light for Boston. And Boston just looked bigger than Dallas on the court. Pause. They just looked way bigger than Dallas on the court.
But you don't think Dallas can make an adjustment? I mean, this series is going to be adjustments because it's the same people playing each other for 7 games if it goes that far.
It's all about the defense. And from what I saw, Boston was pretty much man up on most people and was swarming everything. And if Kristaps, again, was going nuts with blocks and all of that shit, Dallas looked too small. Dallas looked too small, in my opinion.
I'll be honest with you. I would force Kyrie to have a career night every night, man. I'm putting Drew Holiday on Doncic, all the time. Straight out the locker room. He's you're
Right. On fucking player announcements, like go
Player
DM up
announcements,
now.
word. I'm getting you up from there. I'm getting you up from there. Because yo, I say
Don't let him get off the bench and shit.
don't let word. I would have Drew Holiday on Doncic because if you think about it, Kyrie is not putting up, even though you know he is for the mixtape and highlights. Kyrie is doing this, but he's not really putting up numbers like that. Force Kyrie to put up these numbers, you know what I'm saying, and just take Doncic out the game.
He did have an off night. He did have an off night. Shots that he normally makes,
and he could not perform in Boston for whatever reason. Boston has this number where he cannot perform. He's never had a good night in Boston.
The only thing that kills me consistently talking about Boston, I always think about their history because ESPN had the 30 for 30 Lakers versus Celtics, which is what I was trying to transition to the Lakers situation that we wanted to talk about before we get out of here. But
yeah.
I always find it interesting with Boston how historically racist the city was, right?
Right.
Especially how they were to some of the players and especially athletes amongst many teams out there. But Boston, oh yeah, please do this, Brian. He said, I got to send you a clip from Boston Sports Radio. Fans left a message for the turncoat Kyrie. Well, he put Kylie, not even Kyrie. He go Kylie. Wowzers. But I've always found it how Boston was the first team to integrate in the NBA. The first team to integrate. The first team technically with a black coach by way of Bill Russell, who was player coach.
Right.
Won all of these chips for such a racist ass city at one time.
Right.
I just always find that historical fact interesting. And I'm not saying Boston is, I'm sure just like pieces of New York is still racist, whatever. But just in its heyday, like it boggles my mind still to think back on that. And he just sent it. But go ahead, TJ.
Did you see what Jaylen Brown is trying to do? I mean, after he got his big contract, he said he wants to build another Black Wall Street. Possibly, I don't know if it's going to happen in Boston, but I was reading a little bit of background about his history. The dude's a genius. Like, he had an internship to NASA. Like, he was doing a TED Talk or something while he was agreeing to his contract at the same time. He's really for about the community and making change while he's there. So, with his influence, his money, and some quote-unquote power cachet that he has, he can make some strides in doing that. But you got to think of all the legendary players that came out of Boston, like in baseball, Big Papi, Manny Ramirez. I forgot the other dude's name. Mookie Betts was even in Boston. Like, all these players will tell you that they've witnessed racism in Boston, but they also said that they were trying to change the culture while they were there as well. So, I give a shout out to those dudes because, you know what, they're trying to make it a better place for everybody on top of that. But like you said, the history,
Sexy Red his way.
Nah, Jalen, was it Jalen or Jason Tatum, the one he spent like 50 or 100,000 on a bracelet or something for what's the chick from the Bronx? She's with the curly afro. Ice Spice. One of them was dating her for like 2 minutes or something like that. Oh, what is this?
But I got what Brian sent.
All right.
Yeah, Brian sent this. Kyrie.
Are these fans bitter because he just left?
I hate you, Kyrie.
Yo, your man left like 4 years ago.
Dude, let's go, baby. Why did you do
Like
that
4
to
or
me?
5 years
You
ago.
lied to me just like my parents.
Come on.
You, Kyrie.
Hey, Kyrie, if you're listening to this, you, man. You for stepping on the Celtics logo. You, Kyrie. What is selling better? The Kyrie t-shirts or the Kyrie t-shirts?
Kyrie.
Are they selling more than Red Sox merch right now?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, they are. 10-1. Kyrie sucked. He should have never left. We're number one and we're about to whoop that ass.
I want to get a
Kyrie
Kyrie
no
Celtics
fucking
jersey
no.
now. I want to get a Kyrie Celtics jersey now.
Here it's over. I love Kyrie. Want to leave Kyrie a message?
What's that? Who is this? Kyrie Irving. I gotta tell him he has to be born again and follow Jesus if he wants to go to heaven.
You know one thing I noticed.
Hey, yo.
You know one thing I noticed, man. In basketball, especially
Kyrie,
sport of
you suck.
basketball, we love a villain. We love a
I
fucking
thought
villain.
the connection was acting stupid.
But yeah, in basketball,
Absolutely,
we love a
but that's
villain.
just sports in general.
I think about them. I think about them.
That's sports. That's little sports in general.
Yeah, man. Yo, remember when Trey Young? Remember when Trey Young got to the play the Knicks in that season, and the
Yeah.
shit we were saying to Trey, I'm like, God damn, like y'all is, and I'm a Knicks fan.
Yeah, they went too far.
But the shit he's doing in Philly. Nigga, we took over the whole. We took over the Sixers stadium
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
in a
crazy.
gun-toting, gun-waving ass city. We took over fucking the Sixers fucking whole arena.
Yeah,
But it's getting to that to get to talking about Northeast going west.
yo, Dan, that's your connection, man.
Yeah, I know it's my connection. But Dan Hurley, they go, you brought this up, Dan Hurley.
Yeah, my question of the week was, would he? I don't even know how I would phrase this. Okay, we all know that the Lakers' job is like, who wouldn't want that? I mean, shit, I don't know.
It's a
I don't know
coveted
shit about-
position.
Right, I don't know shit about X's and O's, and I would take
Right.
the Lakers' job. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like,
Right.
that is the most coveted job in probably all of NBA, man. You know, but does it make sense for Dan Hurley to take this job? You know,
Well, it depends on his coaching style because he's a very aggressive coach, right? He can talk to those kids pretty much any way he wants because they have respect for him because he's a coach, he's an elder, whatever, what may have you. Now you're dealing with a whole different dynamic with grown-ass men who make way more money than you, guy. Way more money than you. All right? So you got to take that into consideration.
I think the key word you said was kids and men. You know, and it's one thing to be able to pull a kid by his jersey and say, yo, you know, you was in the wrong position, da 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 da. You can't do that with these grown ass men. And I think that's what Billy Donovan is having, the same problem Billy Donovan is having in the NBA.
It's going to be an adjustment, right? It's going to be adjustment because he can't coach the same way he coached at UConn if he takes the job. He can't. All right. So how does that
TJ?
Yeah, go ahead.
Part of the word in Dan Hurley going there is the Lakers organization conceding to whatever style he wants to run the organization. Word is that they've had their eye on him for a while, and especially right now with LeBron also speaking highly of him and also, you know, saying things like, yo, like he's running some real creative ass offenses out there that he would love to run.
Damn.
The Lakers organization would have to fall back some and be like, listen, you tell us what to shop for. We'll go shop and get the groceries for you. This is your kitchen, Gordon Ramsay. Run the kitchen.
Dan.
I'm sorry, TJ, real quick. Right? So okay, this falls back to you know, after everything happens, they say that the players had no influence on the coaching change. Da, 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 da. So basically, what you're telling me is that LeBron is okaying this deal, right?
Well, I'm
So
going off of a lot of the shit that I was again watching ESPN. Is the only real sports anything I watch. It's a lot, we all know ESPN's all opinion based, yada yada yada. With
right,
some people who deliver facts. And again, we're going off of quote unquote sources say information that's being delivered. Of course, I freeze, and of course, I froze. Do y'all hear
Yeah,
me?
yeah,
yeah,
we
we
still
hear
here, we
you.
still here.
Okay, so we're going off of a lot of sources say information and material, and again, this is what the words that were being said is that Jeannie Buss, Rob Pelinka, like they really like what this guy has done in college, and they are kind of willing to give him, aka the
The reign.
reins, to run.
Right.
But my thing is, if that's the case and LeBron feels like that, why did he leave Miami? Because Eric Spoelstra is one of the best coaches and making adjustments on the fly in the entire NBA. Why would you leave South Florida where you were getting chips and you were getting chip after chip after you got the big three? And they could have built the team around you, and you would have never left Miami. You would have never went back to Cleveland. You didn't have to go anywhere else. If you feel that this is the coach for you, then why leave Spoelstra, one of the best coaches in the NBA? And he makes things work with what he has. He coaches up the talent to their best of their abilities, and then he puts that on the floor, and you get what you get. This man is dedicated to the game 1,000%. So why would you put your faith in a guy coming from college, never coached a pro team before? Why would you leave what you had in Miami to go now and do this? That's my question. Because it doesn't make sense to me. Unless
I don't know.
unless you feel like you what you're seeing, the coach ain't seeing, the coach ain't listening to you. So now you say, fuck it, I'm out. Because I know better than him. That's what it seems like to me.
If I was Hurley, if I was Dan Hurley, I would go to a small market team and get paid the bag and go to a small market team because your the expectations is not as high because Lakers is at least second round playoffs. Is your
No, it's championship or bust every year for the Lakers.
Pretty
They're
much
like the Yankees. They're like the Yankees. If you ain't winning chips, you ain't shit.
right.
It's like the
Pretty
Patriots. Yankees, Patriots, Lakers, Celtics. It's championship or bust with those teams.
Yeah.
Every year. Every year.
Yeah.
It's not, you can't just brag about making the second round. That's Philly, that's the Knicks, that's the Bucks, that's the Pacers, that's everybody else beneath them. Those teams are not compromising
I don't know
on
what
second
happened,
place.
y'all. Again, connections all fucked up. I had to go to my phone.
You good now, though.
I had to go to the phone. Hopefully, damn it. Fucking computer's on stupid right now.
Yo, you can hear us?
Yeah.
Let's change the Wi-Fi. Hopefully that works.
I don't think you can hear us.
I don't think you can hear us.
No.
Yo. You hear us, Dan?
Oh man, I was in the middle of my soliloquy, man. I was in the middle of making great points here.
Nah, yo, great points made, man. The Lakers are the Yankees, and what's crazy is that the Yankees, of course, won more, but yeah.
Right. No.
The Lakers are the Yankees.
Yes, it's championship or bust every year, right?
Yeah.
So to bring a guy who's fresh on the scene, who's never done this before, but you left a guy who's a proven champion, done it repeatedly without you, and now you want to go to that. Now you want to take a coach who's never done it before. Why? Because you can manipulate the situation a little bit. Hey, you new to this guy. You don't really know what's going on right now. That's the only way I see it.
You know what?
Sorry, y'all. Again, technical difficulties. I'm sorry.
You hear us though?
Now I hear you finally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Finish off.
So yeah, yo, Darvin, you know what it is? I mean, Darvin Ham lost the locker room. Once the coach loses the locker room, you're on
You're on
borrowed
borrowed
time.
time. Yeah,
You're on
it's
borrowed
over.
time.
It's over.
You know what I'm saying? And he lost the locker room. Once LeBron started calling timeouts, and the coach had no like, okay, why you call timeout? Yeah. And
But he
once,
let the situation get to that point, though. He let
you
it
think
get
so?
to that point. Come on, man. If you're a coach of a team, it's your word, and then everybody's supposed to fall in line, right? They're supposed to trust
That's
him.
what needs to happen.
They're
Yes.
supposed to trust him. So why aren't they trusting him? So you're gonna trust the new guy who's never coached an NBA game in his life?
That's a tough one.
The math ain't mathing, man. Like I said, Spoelstra is the guy. He won multiple championships before Bron got there. He's proven himself already. He's taking teams to the finals that had no business going to the finals. So with a roster that wasn't a championship caliber roster. So how are you leaving the guy that's repeatedly gone to the finals, win or lose, with the talent that he has and he makes the most of it? How are you leaving that coach? Why are you leaving that coach? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me because it seems like he wants autonomy. You know what I'm saying? He wants to put his 2 cents in when he thinks it's right and fuck what the coach has to say. We're going to do it this way.
I think in order for that to work, in order for Hurley to get there, right? He has to be coach and GM. Put Pelinka president of basketball operations, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
It's not going to happen. It's never going to happen. Buss is not giving up that title.
Yeah, I don't see how that's going to work then.
How's it going to work with any coach with him? How's it going to work?
Yeah.
It was like him, LeBron come to the Knicks. Nah, he's not going to fall in line with Thibodeau. Thibodeau, everybody buys in. You have to buy in. If you're not buying in, it's fucking up the culture. It's fucking up the culture.
That was the only reason why we got as far as we did. And
because they bought in.
Because they bought in.
They bought in. And that's the entire culture of that team. They will run through a wall for that man. And they've shown it. Next man up was no problem. Everybody understood their role. Everybody understood what they had to do. And they got the job done for what they could do it for, besides all the injuries. But besides the point, now you want to bring this guy in. Thibodeau don't load manage. Nobody on that team wants to take a day off, wants to be out of game. Nothing like that. We need you when we need you. You know when we need you? Every day. We need you every day, my guy. Because you know what? You're that guy.
LeBron
do that though,
that
TJ. No, but you do that, TJ, when you have young horses that you know you can run like that. And I'm sorry, you as a coach, if you quote unquote have an aging veteran on your team, you do got to play them and use them minutes wise properly.
So come off the bench.
Come off the bench. But
you want LeBron to come off the bench?
Yeah, and I was gonna say no. That's a no. But also too, it would behoove you to fucking not listen to a guy of his caliber. Now you don't fully concede a LeBron James opinion on certain things. You don't fully concede, but you damn sure take into consideration.
All right, Dan, I get that.
Take into consideration.
I get that, but when he starts taking over the huddle and drawing plays and shit like that, what the fuck is going on?
But because sometimes, and see, this is where I'm in it. It all depends on the player. Personally,
it's a fine edge.
This is
it's a fine edge line, bro.
Right, but it all depends on who the player is, and you can be on the sideline seeing one thing. It's a different view when you are on the court live in action seeing it.
I get that.
It's like like when bringing it to football real quick, this is the reason why there's audibles. Because you can be up in the skybox calling an offense or a defense or something, but you're the quarterback or the middle linebacker who's calling plays, and you seen and heard something else that the coaches up top can't get.
Right. It's making a
You know what I'm
decision on the
saying?
fly. Making the decision on the fly. Yes. I
Right.
get that. I get
So
that. I get that 100%. It's just that I was telling, why did he leave Spoelstra, a proven winner, multi-championship winner before he even got there, and continue to go to chips without Bron, and then turn around and get this guy who's never coached an NBA game in his life? Why would you leave Miami when you had?
It took that Miami team some time to get. They didn't just get right back. They had to retool and get Jimmy Butler, and they were beneficiaries of the bubble. Let's keep it real.
We are keeping it real, but it still didn't hinder Eric Spoelstra for coaching his team to their best ability to win. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt. But again,
he
if you
always
got
looks for the best way to win.
But if you have the best in the world at that time, you know what I'm saying? Of course it's gonna make you look like a genius coach. When let's keep it real, when Spoelstra got the job, we all looked at it like, wait, he was just the tape guy,
right?
And you're bringing him up, like you with this, we're looking at the tape guy. And Pat Riley said, and so we all definitely thought like, all right, Pat Riley's giving him this chance, and if he fucks up, he's stepping back in.
No doubt.
We thought that at that time.
No,
but
we didn't.
He was able
we didn't
to
think
succeed.
that. We knew that though. We knew that he only had a limited amount of time.
But so again, you got some of the best horses in the world on your team, and you are brand new coach, tape guy. You better win, regardless of where you came from coaching. You got some of the best coaches you got some of the best players, the best players in the world at that time on your team. You better win no matter who you are as the coach. But now when you bring it to LA and you bring all of these new cats in, let's keep it real. LA went through a lot of injury that hindered them. And then too, they just didn't have the right pieces that meshed to where they should have went on runs.
They traded all those pieces away. I mean, the front office ain't the greatest front office in the world.
There's part of it.
Right. We're going to keep it a buck all the way. They traded a lot of the bubble team that won the chip, let everybody go the following year.
Which is
because
crazy.
So many people would do money. Like I said, what was it, a week or two ago? Yo, you could be bench man number 8. I contributed 20 minutes to the whole finals, but my 20 minutes were pivotal. Guess what? I want more money now. I'm sorry, you gotta go. It'll fuck up some continuity, but hey, I'm sorry, we can't afford you. We'll go get this guy. Yeah, he looks like he's a good fit. The good fit just might not work out. It's the chances you take in not paying.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's all.
Chips,
I mean,
chips cost money.
Chips cost money, and at the very end too, man. Like, okay, can they get along in the locker room? You know what I'm saying? Can they mesh outside the basketball court? Because if you can't mesh outside the basketball court, guess what? I'm not passing you the fucking ball because I don't like you. You know what I'm saying? And that shit like that happens.
Yeah, it does.
You know what I'm saying?
It does. It's just, I don't know. It's just tough. Hurley is a good coach. I'm not taking that away from him. He's a good coach. He should succeed on the NBA level. I don't know if LA is going to be the fit for him, but if they throw him a bag, you got to take the money. You're not going to get this money nowhere else. You're not getting this money nowhere else.
I'd rather him go to New York, man. And this is after Thibodeau. Like Thibodeau is now my guy. You know what I'm saying? If he wasn't my guy at the beginning of the season, he's my guy now. You know what I'm saying? Minus the fact that he works his players to the high fucking minute count.
Yeah,
but he's my guy.
Tibbs does what Herman. What's the coach that used to coach the Jets? Herman. He plays to win the. Herman Edwards, he plays to win the game. Every night. Every night he plays to win the game. That's his objective. He doesn't think about tomorrow. He doesn't think what happened yesterday. None of that shit. He goes into practice to win the next game. And he coaches every single game like that. All the players that play for him will tell you he's meticulous with his coaching style because he's trying to win every fucking game. Is he going to win every game? No, that's impossible to do. But he's going to do his damn best to put his team in a position to win the game.
And as a coach, that's what you're supposed to do.
Right.
Correct.
Not supposed to look further. You're supposed to. Yeah, word, Curtis. That's why I put it. It's just read Byron flagged our show. I'm blaming the connection issues on him. But as a coach, that's what you're supposed to do, man. So I mean, for Dan Hurley, like I don't want to. I mean, I'm a UConn guy when it comes to college basketball. Do you want to see it go? No. But do you want to see? I don't want to see him go. No. But in all reality, every coach eventually wants to grow.
Yes.
Every coach eventually wants to expand. And
but they want to prove themselves on the next level.
They do want to prove themselves on the next level. And that's why if they open this situation up to him, the way that the reports were talking, as far as they're going to kind of give him the reins and let him run the show the way he sees fit, as far as it goes on the court and gaining personnel, it very well could work. It could work because when you think about some college coaches that tried to come through and get to the NBA, like Calipari, with Dan Donovan. Donovan was the beneficiary of having fucking, freaking KD, fucking Russ and Harden. You know what I'm saying? Like you had three greats on your hand with defensive players who knew their role and shut their mouth. You know what I'm saying? But there's so many other failures when it comes to college sports. I mean, people who transition from college sports to pros. There are many failures that we could look at. But the people who do withstand are the ones who are allowed to do what they do for the most part. And a lot of those coaches, they came in and they weren't allowed to do what they needed to do.
Right.
And then again, in a what have you done for me lately society and world, it's actually slightly refreshing to hear that the Lakers want to go this route and allow him to build, because they know, you know what, we've been here for so long. Maybe now we're grasping the fact that like all that win now approach that we used to take. No, maybe we need to step back and go to the Lakers of old and develop.
But Dan, if they do that, if they choose to do that, which I'm all for. I never hated the Lakers. I always, I know that good Lakers basketball is good NBA basketball. So I'm all for that. So if they're willing to take a step a couple of years back and develop, that means you got to fucking cut loose LeBron and AD.
LeBron doesn't sign. LeBron doesn't sign back as a free agent.
You got to cut them loose.
That was my question to both of you. Do you think LeBron's going to sign back to the Lakers with this?
It depends on I think it depends on this Dan Hurley move. If they do take him, he will sign back. I believe he will. I believe he will.
I thought the opposite.
Nah, I think because I'm sure a Dan Hurley would love the opportunity to have a LeBron James. I mean, shit. The word was they even offered Coach K this position like 20 years ago, but he said no. And 20 years ago, Lakers was Kobe, Shaq.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was, but the transition from being a great in college to great in the NBA, like I just described, it doesn't automatically mean success. And Coach K might have taken a beating because maybe his style wouldn't have worked. Which Coach K, as we know, he's been a guy who's been a great talent evaluator to where he was able to gain success in a one-and-done culture, but still develop some of his people outside of the people that you knew were one-and-dones.
Also, Coach K was very comfortable where he was at. He knew he could dictate his own future. He knew when he could quit when he wanted to quit. You know what I'm saying? He earned that respect to go out on his shield whenever he felt he wanted to do that. He earned that cash. You go into the NBA, you got to start from the bottom again, scratch, zero. All that college shit means nothing now. You got to wipe the slate clean and you got to start from ground zero. And he was like, I don't know if I want to do that. I'm good here. They're paying me the money I want. I'm comfortable. I can get a free meal anywhere I go, out there in Duke. I'm well respected. I'm on this. I'm on the talking scene. I'm giving speeches and all this shit around the circuit and all this stuff. I don't need to give that up. I'm making money outside of basketball while I'm making money inside of basketball. And when people come to me for young talent, like, what do you think about this kid? Then I can give them an honest evaluation on it, and I don't have to worry about the repercussions or consequences.
I
That's
always
it.
said that Coach K and Nick Saban can run for office in their respective states, and they'll win in a landslide, man.
Tommy Tuberville proved
Yep.
it.
Yeah, he proved it. And
Tommy
Auburn
Tuberville proved
and
this
Auburn
shit.
sucked. Let's
And one
be
of the
clear.
worst politicians out there.
Facts. Yes.
This is what happens when you have a coach in Senate.
For all we knew, this was his end game. For all we knew.
Bro, his boosters are different now. He still got boosters. You understand what I'm saying?
They're called
His
lobbyists
boosters
now.
are different now.
They're called lobbyists.
Yeah, and they're lining his pockets with more cash than he's ever seen in his life. Off the books. He's getting bread. So he can stand on his square. He can stand on his word because they're throwing money at him to do that shit. Are you kidding me? It's the best movie ever made.
Sure.
Yes, comfortability is a major factor. It is.
I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you.
It happens to players.
I don't know about you, but I don't know about you guys, man. Comfortability is a big thing for me. If I'm successful in a state or city, I'm staying.
If it ain't broke, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right. Somebody like Gino. Gino is never leaving Connecticut.
Why would he?
You know what I'm saying?
He's a guy.
And when was the last time he won a chip? Think about it.
Well, I mean, in Sissy, I was going to say, for me personally, I'm different. Because once it gets too comfortable and it gets too monotonous and too boring, I need something to switch it up. To get me reinvigorated into doing what I do. Part reason why
that, Dan, but when that check comes in the mail every 2 weeks, you're like, I don't know. I like it here.
That's what I was going to say. And
especially contract season.
A little different because my check went from every week to every 2 weeks. But I took the promotion because I needed something different, not because I wanted to be on an give me my every week payback. Fuck that. But I was tired of doing the same shit all the time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now,
so you challenge yourself.
I challenge myself. I'm in a spot now where get me the fuck out of the location I work at and give me a new environment. Same job, but new environment. To where it's going to now give me a different challenge.
See, because
I hate where I'm at so much. Dan Hurley, I don't think he hates college, but you're given a new environment with a new challenge doing the same job. If you like challenges and like to rise above, then
this topic right here deserves its own show. Comfortability and growth, right? Dan Hurley can fuck around and stay in Connecticut and be the next Gino. You know what I'm saying? Because him alone, they're already talking about, this guy, dynasty, Connecticut.
He's already
dynasty,
almost there. He got 2 chips. He's already
two
almost
chips back to back.
Yeah.
In college, the last person that was Coach K. It doesn't happen.
And Kyle, it only doesn't happen now because of the one and done, but now that's going to change back to some of the older ways where people stayed 3 and 4 years. Thank you to the NIL deals. And now
Right.
some of these cats who aren't going to make the league, but now can make money in college, are going to stay the 4 years. Or even some of the best players will still stay unless they know that their opportunity to make more money in college, I mean, in the pros, is going to change things.
Yes.
Right.
Now they're
Yes.
going to leave. So the
Yeah.
NIL deal actually is going to help a return of the 3 and 4 year athlete to
Because
where
they don't want to
it
turn down
kind of
that
makes,
bread. Yeah.
and it helps kind of make sense to stay in college now.
Facts.
So where that's another aspect that it makes things a little more difficult in saying, do I go to LA? Yes, the money is larger. Yeah, they have more money to make more things happen, but do I want that level of stress? Or am I not ready? I don't like the new stresses of the NIL situation. Now I gotta move on. These are questions that could
Mm,
be asked.
mm. And the
And it's
transfer
funny.
portal shit.
It's
The
it's fun.
transfer
It's
portal
funny.
too. It takes a
Yes.
Yeah.
lot into effect. The transfer
Uh,
portal is real. The transfer portal is real, and it affects a lot of teams on a lot of different levels. So you
and
gotta
and
you gotta take that into consideration. But go ahead.
I'm sorry. And a lot of these old school coaches don't want to deal with this NIL shit and transfer portal shit. And that's what, according to Nick Saban, that's what drove him out. He didn't want to deal with that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Nick
Yeah,
Saban.
because the best players in the state are no longer staying in your state because they can now go make money elsewhere. I'm sorry, Bama. Now you might not be the highlighted biggest program in the nation no more. You're still gonna have the notoriety and all of that stuff, but guess what? There's options now.
Yeah.
And if you're telling me that I can be a potential starter my sophomore year, but then instead go play for Iowa State and be the number one starter, day one starter. Oh, and I got 20 car dealerships ready to cut me a check.
Yep.
I'm going
Guess
to
where
where I
I'm
can get on the field and get that check.
guess where
Yep.
I'm
I'm not going
going.
to sit back and wait at Alabama no more.
Nope.
Word. Guess where I'm going.
Because
Follow
Yo,
Alabama
me
was
with the
yo,
money.
considered
yo.
because Alabama was considered like Miami, straight to the pros. You play for
Yeah,
them,
it was
Yeah,
it was
you
a
know you
it was
going
a fucking
pro.
factory line.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was a factory line.
You know you going pro. But for like you said, the outliers, the guys who gotta wait or backing up the number one guy. Why am I wasting my time and my talent sitting on the bench when I could be getting this money? One, two, getting to shine and making the best situation for me, not for you, for me. That
I
yeah,
Tua, that Tua and who's the quarterback hurt situation would have
Jalen
Hurts.
never happened. Would have never
Right,
happened in Alabama if the NIL deal
Facts.
shit was out now. That
right.
shit would have
Good,
never happened.
I
decent
think I think
example.
one I
Go
think
ahead.
one thing that we also not talking about is not just the kids. You know what I'm saying? It's these parents that are they're bugging their ear like, yo, listen, yeah, you could sit in Alabama, but Florida needs a starter, or Miami or
And
Florida State needs a starter.
some parents, yeah, but I think it's more the athlete themselves.
It's got to
Nowadays,
come
a
down
lot of
to the
these
kid.
kids, yeah, a lot of these kids are that headstrong. I mean, we say it, fuck this generation all the time because they don't want to listen to us. How many of these kids are listening to their parents? Sometimes in some situations, yeah, I'm gonna give it up with the parent. You'd be like, yo, maybe you want to go this way. And of course, the parent, if you're a good parent, you're always going to be that ear to lean on. But ultimately, at that point, you're still an adult and it's your decision.
Word.
I was going to say the example I was going to say, and then we're going to get out of here. Just look at how the whole Deion Sanders situation happened with Jackson State transition into Colorado. You know what I'm saying? Like Jackson State, HBCU, small school, brought a lot of notoriety because of Deion Sanders' presence, because of his kid's presence there and all that, right? They transitioned to Colorado because way more money, way more exposure, way more of everything.
It's a
And they're
principle of business.
capitalizing like fuck.
It's a business. It's a business.
how many commercials do we see Shiloh and Shador on now? They wouldn't have got these same commercials in Jackson State. I'm sorry to
Not at
say it
all.
like that against the HBCU, but this shit is factual. The money, and
Capitalism.
like Ed said, this generation is more business savvy about these colleges and leagues making money off of them than our generation. Hence why the parent isn't that big of a factor anymore.
But that is a fact, Dan. That is a fact. Like,
Word.
what you just said was yo, I can't dispute that. You know what I'm saying? None of that shit would have happened in Jackson State. You know.
Right. I mean, all it would have did realistically was it would have continued to help bolster the HBCU product, because then
Right.
here, more of the top talent may have wanted to go there, but it would have been a way longer transition than let me go get this money right now.
Right.
I was gonna say, having said that, it was still this still helps Jackson State because everyone knows that Dion was at Jackson State, and so it does still help. It does still help the school.
Yeah,
Not
because
not
it's
maybe not as much
different.
maybe not as
Oh,
much as Colorado,
it's
but
different in college because a lot at one time. Now the NIL situation switched it up, but at one time, college sports, especially football, you went to a school because of the coach.
Yes.
The coach came to your house and
Yes.
sold you on the product, sold
right.
you on what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, and how much they believe in you.
Yes.
Nowadays, if you don't have the capital in coaching anymore, it's different. Now it's how much capital can you give me in my fucking bank account
Mhm.
To play for you.
to play for you.
Right.
How
Right.
is this going to benefit me now?
Coach.
Not
Coaches.
I'm willing to go run through a wall for you. Now, how much is this going to benefit me?
I'm sure coaches are visiting now, telling them what the NIL deals are laid out for them if they go
Oh
to
yeah.
that school.
They
Oh
got no
yeah.
choice. That's
You
the
got no
era we're
I'm
in
choice.
now.
pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he's coming with the bag and saying, "Hey, look at all of this. These guys are ready to line up and give you money right now. Soon as you
Yo,
sign on the line and you start kicking out commercials and doing these appearances, and you know what, get
we've
paid."
TJ,
we've all seen that
and
movie.
that's exactly what it is.
We've all seen that movie Blue Chips, right?
Of course.
And Blue Chips was the anti-NIL movie. And I think right now, and I'm ready to watch this movie tonight. And I'm just like, God damn, like everything in Blue Chips that happened, everything that's happening now was so taboo in that movie. You know, and you know
It
the
was a
whole
different
the
time.
old
It was a different
Tony
time.
was my guy,
It
and
was a different time.
but
Yeah, the real
it
taboo,
was it's a
Big O,
180.
you picked the wrong
It's
movie.
a
You picked
180.
the wrong movie, O. The real taboo was the program.
Mm.
The real taboo was the program. The program, in my opinion, did what ESPN's Playmakers did in showing, yo, this is what college life kind of looked like. This is
In
how we
real
prop
life,
up
yeah.
this is how we prop up the Heisman Trophy candidate at the beginning of the season. This is how we treat the star player. This is how, competition looks as far as just making a team and shit like that. Like, yeah, the program was a little more taboo, I would say. Blue chips, yeah, but the program gave us a lot more. But the
Yeah.
game is different now because now, and I'm thankful for it, you got to pay me what you owe. You got to pay me what you owe now, because
Yeah.
you crooks to NCAA. There's always been a business. You've always been making money off our back.
Facts.
Now, guess what? Now you got
Will,
to pay.
so Dan, will we ever see dynasties like the Hurricane teams of like the '90s? You know what I'm
We
saying? The
could,
Nebraskas,
I
we
think we
could
the
can.
Gators. You know what I'm
listen.
I think
saying?
We we
my opinion,
go ahead, though.
I think we can. If these NIL deals will keep kids in school, because you already know how I feel. I feel as though so long as these kids stay in school, when you get to the pro league, you're gonna have more finished products. You know what I'm saying? When they come out these one and dones, you're still teaching them the nuances of the game. You know, when their first second year in the pro league. I feel as though these NIL deals will keep these kids in there, and you're gonna have kids doing 2-3 years, maybe not 4, but you're gonna have kids doing 2 or 3 years, which I'm all for because it's gonna be a better product in the college level. You know, that's
What
how
you
I
said,
that's my
oh, is
opinion.
what I recited earlier. What you said is what I said earlier, and what these NIL deals are going to do. They're going to make these kids stay a little longer because some of these cats are now going to be financially stable enough to stay. You know, they're going to be more financially stable enough to stay. But to bring this home and to tie it back to where this all started from, this is where a move from Dan Hurley becomes really important because he's on the verge of quote unquote rebuilding the Connecticut dynasty. And if he could keep it going and stay there and keep this going, it very well could have that. Because, like y'all mentioned before, his kids bought in. These kids are really ready to run it back. How many of his kids aren't pro ready and need that extra year? And like I mentioned a week or two ago, or when we mentioned, oh, if Boston loses, oh, last week, if Boston loses, do we blow it up? And I said, no, you run it back to build continuity. We're going to get back to some of that dynasty stuff because the NILs are now going to help with continuity because these kids are going to now stay because of the money they make it. It's a whole chain reaction of shit that's going to kind of bring back some of what we had before in college sports. Dan Hurley's move can very well tell the tale of how those tides
So
will
so
turn.
so Dan, does he sign? If they give him the bag, does he sign, or does he keep it?
Probably,
He
probably
stays in
because it
Connecticut and
goes
run it back.
it it probably because it goes back to something we said earlier, and as far as change and wanting change in one's career and wanting evolution in one's career, he very well could say, you know what, I did 2 in a row. Maybe I can't top that again. Now it's time for a new challenge.
All right, what more do I have to prove?
A new challenger has entered the arena, just like our fighting games would say. And that's that. We're done. This was fucking. This was a good one. This one today was fun. Today was funny.
This is a good show.
It was a good show.
Real good
It was a good
shit.
show.
Other than the fucking connection issues, which I hope everybody still heard y'all while I was having the connection issues, because it seemed
Yeah,
like
they
y'all
did.
kept
Yeah,
going.
we did.
Yeah.
But that means no editing for me like usual. Big O, you know what to do.
Yo, great show, man. Yo, I enjoyed today, man. Shout out to the listeners. Shout out to everyone that lent their comments, man. Yo, y'all was all funny as shit. You know what I'm saying? Entertaining us. And I was entertaining to our masses. You know, great show, man. Looking forward to next week, man. I'm passing it off to CJ though.
Another great show. Screw Brian for flagging our show. But it is what it is. Good topics. Good talk today. This was one of, like I said, this is why I come on the show every week. This for stuff like this. This is lovely. Appreciate the participation in the comments today. Love you guys. Shout out to Jamal and Tyrone for not being here, but we'll catch y'all on the other side next week.
Yes, sir.
And it's up to you, Dan.
Word. Peace to cognitive ignorance. Peace to disabled planets. Peace to Ishtar. We out. See y'all next week.
Sir.